driving. Hopefully the signalage will be. I wanted to say that I've been approached by somebody from Liverpool, the Liverpool chapter of the Flat Earth activists, and his name's Joe, and can barely understand the man, but he's really doing it quietly all the way up north with the street activism, a bit of street painting and stuff like that. And he's really keen to come down and do a session at Speaker's Corner, assuming the weather works with us. Read and drive at the same time. So me and a few other, if you see this met. I also want to do like a little picnic, maybe at the end of the month. You know, if the weather's still playing nicely with us, then it would be pretty cool to do a picnic, generally organized by Roxanne. A little way off, maybe 100 yards or 50 meters or whatever away from the corner itself, or even further, actually fixated on that. But it would be pretty cool to be close to the Speaker's Corner, because, you know, like, it's quite nice to just dip in and out, and, you know, it's pretty, you know, it's a pretty cool vibe. And of course, the way that we're approaching the Flat Earth conversation is, you know, improving. I don't know if you saw Howard's video, Howard George Stirrup. If you haven't subscribed to him, please go and have a look at his channel. He's yeah, just a younger man than me. I hope he doesn't mind me saying that, but with a really, really effective style, a very effective approach. Wow, beautiful, beautiful sunset right there in my face. Hello. You know, he's a brilliant style about it. He's got a lovely vibe, lovely energy about him, and you know, he's quite clever at not getting too drawn into the to like an argument with someone who just wants to come and squabble over their belief system. And also, you know, it reminds me a little bit, because I watched his 2-hour, I listened to a lot of his video that he uploaded yesterday from his Speaker's Corner visit the other week, and I think we can all learn from it. Actually, I certainly did, and I know that my delivery will be improved. I told him that, actually, that my delivery will be improved by having spent a little bit of time listening to his style and his approach and stuff. There's something we can all gain from each other, and I commend that. So that's that. Picnic, yeah, at the end of the month, if the weather's nice, you know. Roxanne, if you're listening to this, put it out to your crew. Let's get a few people along. Make it fun. As I say, it doesn't have to be right on the Speaker's Corner, because some people may still feel a bit intimidated by all of that hubbub. But, you know, it's really safe, and we've got friends there, you know. And, of course, we got to put, you know, the police are our friends too, you know. I just told 2 young policemen that their bottle of Evian spelled backwards was naive. They didn't really appreciate that. But I did tell them they should be looking into distilled water. Now, I had a comment on my channel that surprised me, actually. It surprised me. It was, and that's why I put in the title, Muhammad the Prophet, peace be upon him. You see, one of the things, okay, so the comment was, what do you think about Muhammad or something? Because, you know, I'm talking about Muhammad and stuff like that, and giving the Prophet respect. And of course, I'm talking to my Muslim brothers, sisters, mostly brothers. But, they do tuck the ladies away a bit, don't they? Don't have to agree with everything, but you know, what something that this guy asked me was, what do I think of Muhammad? So I said, well, you know, he's like, I think like Christ, you know, like the Jesus character is, real or not, is a fantastic, I think, a fantastic model for us how to live our lives and how to be and so on. If we want to ascend to a higher kind of thing, you know, that's what I think. People point to Muhammad's sort of Medina period, the aggressive a warlike kind of thing. But I'm starting to wonder whether that, as I said to my friend, well, he may not consider me my friend, but the Imam that I spoke to, Shamsi, on Sunday, he may not have appreciated the idea that the Quran could be allegorical in the same way as I see the Bible as an allegory. I said to him, like the Shakespeare thing, Shakespeare's got at least 2 layers to the story. That, the Medina phase might simply be referencing like the angry side of us, the violent nature of the man or the woman. So we got the loving side, we got the right brain feminine, got the kind of left brain skewed masculine side, which is the two halves of us, the yin and the yang, the dark and the light. I think for everybody, I found the comment to be a little annoying, really, because I think the person they're a sock account, because there's no content on the channel, no subscribers or anything like that, and I was obviously set up for the question. Now, my first instinct was to block the channel, and go. But really, there's a lesson in this, for us all. Because he, I assume he goes, because Muhammad married or had sex with minors, and now in England they got Muslim gangs or Muslim teachers or the imams marrying men to younger women, now younger to children or young girls. I'm not quite sure what the ages are. I haven't been following all of that. However, it's just so like Tommy Robinson, in its thinking. I mean, of course, there is pedophilia, and of course, back in previous times, the kind of age of consent was certainly younger. But for someone to say, it's the Muslim thing, when actually in the world we know that pedophilia, can I say Jeffrey Epstein? Does everyone know that name? I think we're not meant to say it anymore, but that Epstein character who was friends with all the hobnobs and had a penchant for younger ladies. I don't know how much younger. And you get into a little bit of a kind of grey area, don't you? And you also get into the law here says this and the law there says that. And it's a little bit of a minefield. And it's one of those things that like vaccines or some of the other things, it's set up to cause us to feel that tension, to be angry about it, and actually to have a, it's given a guy like Tommy Robinson, just for example, a whole, a whole reason for being, and he doesn't have to say anything about, I don't mind Islam, I don't mind Muslims, I don't mind brown skins, I don't mind any of that, I just got a problem with their pedophilia kind of grooming and all this stuff. When, the whole Catholic organization some of it is about grooming boys for more than altar action. And some of it is about, we know that there is dreadful pedophilia. And in fact, I may not be mistaken on this, but certainly it comes to mind that the majority of pedophilia happens within the family. Someone who's known to the family or known to the child is where it's kind of mostly at. Sometimes that's positions of power like priests and teachers and other such roles, but it's just one of those clever little malicious ways of picking on a particular group You know, in the same way like terrorism, people think, if I say terrorism today, people think Muslim. If I said terrorism back in the 1970s, people would have thought IRA, ETA, maybe some others I should have prepared but for that one. But there was, and of course in South Africa we would have thought about, some black-leaning group like the ANC, terrorists back in that day. Now, of course, we've forgotten about those. Those aren't terrorists anymore. The terrorists are these other people, and we know that a lot of this is staged. Now, I'm not saying that the pedophilia numbers are exaggerated. I'm not making any comment on how much that goes on and how much in certain cultures there is a different kind of view on what is the right age to, have a young lady become betrothed to a man. Now, I don't particularly, agree. I don't have to agree with, the Muslim way of certain things and the covering up of the ladies and all of that. I don't agree with that, and I've got no problem telling anybody that. But it's not to be used as some kind of pejorative, if that's the right phrase, stick to beat an entire people with, because their cultural belief. I've got some trees obviously blocking this satellites. I think I'm back. It is it is the reality is in this day and age a lot of children are having sex. I mean, obviously not with older men. I'm not encouraging older men to be with 12-year-old girls and that sort of thing. That's really not. But again, that's really it's almost like a straw man. Although this stuff is happening, it's the same as child trafficking. We've heard about child trafficking forever, and it is a problem, but I think it's weaponized. I think that it is being weaponized to get you angry, and in this case angry with the Islam thing, and to feel like that's our enemy, when in fact, these are our brothers and sisters. There is only one human, there is only one mankind, there is only one, and it's really unfortunate that someone would need to kind of, even at this stage, cling on to these things, because actually what it's saying, whoever you are, what it's saying is that you're a racist. And that makes my hair stand up on the back of my neck. You can call it pedophilia and so on, but let me tell you, I've just been in Walthamstow, in a very Asian looking, or like Muslim looking place now, and there's just regular folks. That's all I saw, regular folks. Not people, peering and thinking, and you know what I mean? And actually, when it comes to that pedophilia thing, like there's many a bloke. I've had conversations now with blokes. I've had conversations with blokes who go, yeah, well, we've been made to feel like we can't interact with young children because of the pedophilia thing. And then there's children who've been made to feel frightened of men that they don't know because of the pedophilia. This is all white I'm talking about. Because of the pedophilia thing. Then it's, the mothers are going, oh, come on, child, there's a strange man looking at you. Well, there's a man looking at you, and that's strange. So that's, my thoughts is that the pedophilia thing exists, but you can put it onto one group if you want to. But I think that's simply masking your racism, actually, my friend. It's masking your racism, because what they want us to do, what I hear people who are not aware of what's going on, I hear them say, because people might talk to me as a white guy, they might say things to me thinking like, I'm going to be I've got the white guy mindset about what we've been programmed to think about the Islamic invasion and the risk of everything turning to Sharia. And they love, like, anything that they can push about, there's these like gangs going around their neighborhoods and forcing women to dress up and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's not happening, but you got to remember that that's partly the reason why these guys are so incensed and their noses are so put out of joint because a woman's wearing a short skirt, is because they've been themselves mind fucked, just like you. I mean, not you, all of you. I just mean, well, we all been mind fucked, but I mean the person who wrote that comment to me, called Get to Fork Flat Earth. That was the name of the channel. You can find the comment on my last video, the one before. There's not a lot of comments on the video, so it wouldn't take long to find. But those folks who insist on their women wearing sheets to cover up their head. You can call it something else, but essentially it's a sheet. Cover up their head and their body and all of that from the prying eyes of men and so on. I'm sorry to say, but that's just been programmed into your head, because I know that doesn't seem right to me, but then that's because I never got that program. So if you get that program, you're going to think that that's what's got to be right. And then these white girls who carry on like they do, and some of them do carry on a little bit kind of, but, that's their choice. They're going to go around and be like, yeah, you got to be like this, and you got to be like that, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. That's what they're programmed for. And they are not going to want to hear that, that they are the Christ. I said that to 2 Muslim guys the other day, and they walked away from me. I don't know if you saw that. They walked away from me, and I'm like, no, I don't mean, I'm not trying to sell you on Christianity, yeah, I'm just trying to say that character, that exemplar is one that I think, if you're striving for this kind of, then the answer, you're not just want to be lost in materialism and all the other stuff. Well, you're going to turn on it. That's what it's about. Actually, is about that Christ story, and that choice about you want to know the truth, you want to know what you're here for. I think that's what you're here for. I listened to Martin Kenny and Josh and a few others talking today on his podcast about like a 2020 ascension theory, and some of the stuff really made a lot of sense to me. There was a video he posted today. It's his 3rd or 4th one in the series that he's been doing. I haven't heard the others, but this one, like, he was talking about plasma, and it was, it's the 4th state of matter, and how everything is plasmatic, and how everything is connected through that plasma, which I keep banging on about everything being connected and everything being one, And if everything is one, everything is plasma, there's only one plasma. Stop making excuses for your racist mindset, my friend. You can blame it on anything you like. Blame it on the Catholics if you have to, or the Jews. But whilst you're continuing to blame, you're never going to find the love. And really, that's what I got to say. We're looking for love here. I mean, not everybody has to be looking for love. It doesn't matter. But if you're looking for what I'm looking for, then it's the love, the balance, the harmony. I'm going to be at Speaker's Corner on Sunday, and I hope to see some of you there. If you can't be there, then join me online, and if you can't be there this week, then come some other time. If you want to, that'd be cool. So sorry I can't stop and chat in the chat room. Thank you very much for your visitation and your attention. One love. One love.